it. But there's more to it than just creating a budget. Pamala McCoy from Bonafide Credit is here now with some easy ways to increase your savings and get fiscally fit in 2013. Good to have you here, Pamela.
Thank you for having me.
A lot of people think, well, okay, I'm just going to have a budget, stick to it, and I won't have any problems this year.
Yeah, but unfortunately, there's a little bit more to it than that. One of the first things that I would recommend everyone do at the beginning of the year is to pull your credit bureau. And that's really important because that's kind of like your foundation, your starting point. It's going to let you know where you are with regards to your debt to income ratio.
Now, if you want to get your credit score, you can get it for free.
The credit bureau is free, and you get one from each of the three major reporting bureaus, Equifax, Experian, and TransUnion. You get one free one per year.
Okay.
The credit score is not included, but it's a nominal charge, less than $10. And I recommend that the first one you get, you do pull the score, because again, that'll tell you where you're starting. But I don't recommend that you pull all three of them at one time. Pull one every 4 months or so, because they all should basically be the same with a few little nuances or what have you. But what you want to look for when you pull your credit report is the trade lines that are in there. Make sure that they're accurately yours. Is the reporting accurate? And if there are any disputes or discrepancies, you need to get that clarified, because that could be adversely affecting your score.
Had that happen.
Yes.
Got my credit report, look at the score, and I thought, what is this?
Exactly.
And it was wrong.
And it happens a lot, too, if you have juniors and seniors, father and son, where the files actually get merged together. So errors are pretty common, and it's important to get them corrected.
Okay, do that first. Now, track your spending. How do you track your spending?
There's several different methods. You can do it via an Excel spreadsheet. You can just do it on a notepad. But what the importance is that you, for a week's period of time, ideally it would be a month, but people aren't going to track their spending for a month. And so if you take out a week, and everyone in the household really needs to be on the plan, or it's kind of counterproductive.
Right.
But you're tracking every penny that you spend during that week. And the importance there is it's going to help you determine where you can kind of shave off some things to save some money.
Could be very surprising when you take a look at the end of the week.
Exactly.
Okay, now, sure, we all want to shop around, but there are certain things that we should really be shopping for. Let's talk about generic versus brand food.
Yes, when she's talking about shopping around, I'm talking about, again, cost cutting.
Right.
Because our mission is to get out of debt. And so when you're talking about generic versus brand names, typically there's a huge difference in the price, whether it's medication, whether it's a loaf of bread or cereal. So always do the price comparisons, because when you look at the labels, actually the ingredients are identical. So you're paying for the packaging.
Right.
So
always do the 401k.
Always do the 401k. Particularly, a lot of companies don't match, but if your company matches, it doesn't matter how low the percent, you need to at least do what they're doing. If their match is 6%, then you need to do a minimum of 6%, or otherwise you're leaving free money on the table.
Now, here's something that a lot of people don't think of, but you can save hundreds. You get in a hold of your insurance company, start shopping around, and you go to them and you say, this person will give it to me for this much, and they'll probably come right down.
Price comparison on everything, not just insurance. You can do price comparison on your cable bill, on your cell phone. Another thing, budget billing, most people don't know about, and that kind of helps you with your budget. Particularly utility companies will do that, and they'll take your billing for a year, average out what your monthly bill has been over the previous year, and you pay that amount every month. So that fits in your budget. You know exactly what you're going to be paying. And then at the end of the year, you balance out. And it could be that you receive money back, or you might have to pay some extra, but it helps you throughout the year with budgeting.
Speaking of getting money back, credit cards that actually pay you back. I have one. Love it. You know, if you get gas, it gives you an extra percentage. If you get groceries, it gives you a little bit more.
Exactly.
These things are just great.
Exactly.
And there's no
cashback
annual
cards
fee.
are wonderful. Absolutely wonderful. And you need to make sure that they're working for you instead of you working for the cards. And what I mean by that is you need to be in a position to pay your balance in full each month.
Yeah.
And so we'll have some tips to talk about how to expedite paying off your balance in full, but certainly. And another thing that people may not know, these particular credit cards that have cash back on them, you might be able to tie some of your other bills to roll to that card that you get credit and cash back.
You're right.
Discover will allow you to do that.
I've got a few seconds left, but you say have an emergency fund.
An emergency fund is liquid assets that you can be used for an emergency. The car needs repairs, that you're not dipping into your 401ks and some of those things to meet that need.
Good stuff. Pamala McCoy, thank you very much. That's some good advice. I've got to track everything I spend this week. We'll be right back with more daytime, so don't go spending and don't go away. You want to catch daytime but won't be home for the show? Then remember to set your TiVo or DVR